Hi guys, I'm Charlie. I'm 25 from the UK and I have congenital anosmia, which means I've never smelled anything in my whole life ever. And these are my 5 tips for living with anosmia. Tip number 1, have a schedule for you and your clothes. Because we can't smell, we don't know if we or our clothes need washing. So it's always good to have an idea of how long you can wear clothes for or how long you can go between washing. So this will vary from country to country, how active you are, what the weather's like, all sorts of things. But for me, I change my top and my underwear every day, and I change my trousers and anything like a jumper that goes on top of my t-shirt every 5 days. If I exercise or get sweaty in any way, or if I get wet, or if I'm near fire or smoke, I'll change that straight away. I won't even wait until the end of the day, just change. In terms of washing myself, I wash myself every day. However, if I do exercise, I'll wash myself maybe an extra time, or if it's really hot in the summer, maybe I'll wash myself an extra time. But it's completely down to you and what works for you. And if you're not sure, just ask someone, do I need to change more regularly? Is this okay? Tip number 2, label your food. So even though a lot of food comes with a best before date on it, if you open it, or if you've made it yourself and you're putting it in the fridge for leftovers, or perhaps you've frozen it, it's really difficult to then know if it's gone off. So what you can do is you can put a sticker or use a Sharpie and just write the date that you put it in, or opened it, or made it, or put it in the freezer on the packet. You could also instead write the date that it goes off. It depends how you think about it. That will mean that it doesn't matter so much that you can't smell it because it has a date on it. Tip number 3, have an emergency smell kit. Now this is just a small kit that contains some things that will help you if you have a smell emergency. So I keep my kit in my desk at work. It also contains things like plasters, but for the smell part of it, I keep deodorant, wet wipes, and a spare t-shirt in a plastic bag. So the deodorant is pretty obvious. It's so that I can apply deodorant throughout the day if I feel like I need to top up. The wet wipes is so that if I feel particularly sweaty, perhaps I went for a walk at lunch, or I had really nervous phone call, I can go to the bathroom and just have a quick wet wipe shower. So just wipe my body with the wet wipes and just feel clean. And then the spare t-shirt is that if I've had one of those incidents where I feel like I've got a bit sweaty, and my t-shirt just feels gross, I can change it, because when you can't smell, you assume that if your clothing feels gross, you must smell gross, even if you've done stuff to make that smell go away, like put on deodorant and wipe yourself. So I find that it really helps to have a clean t-shirt to put on in case of emergency, and I keep it in that bag just to make sure it doesn't get dirty or get contaminated with anything else that's in that bag. And then if I've used that t-shirt, then I just replace it. Tip number 4 is to get yourself a designated nose. Now this is just someone to smell things for you. Our noses don't work, so it's important to get someone whose nose does work to help. This could be a friend, a family member, a co-worker, a partner, anyone who you feel comfortable with. And you can get them to smell anything. You can get them to smell food, your clothes, you can get them to help you pick out gifts, shampoo, candles. The possibilities are endless. And the most important thing to remember, if you ever feel uncomfortable, is that the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. And finally, tip number 5 is to connect with others. Anosmia can be really lonely and isolating at times, even if everyone around you is really supportive. They just don't get it, and that's okay, because there's loads of us who do, and we're just a click away. You can find us on Fifth Sense's website, through their Let's Talk Smell and Taste events, and through their ambassadors. And if you're a congenital anosmic like me, why not come along to one of our congenital clubs? We'd love to have you. And those are my 5 tips. I hope they help you, and don't forget, you're not alone.